And now we are starting our first discussion of the day, the future of fine dining. I have exquisite guests with me today from all around the world, and I will present them to you just in a moment. What we're gonna focus during this discussion is what we are facing now in different countries, in different areas of the restaurant world. So hopefully this will give you a great example of what the world in general is dealing with now and what we can do about it, what ideas have come in different parts of the world to save the day. And today with me are Therese Boer, who is a co-owner, hostess and sommelier of 3 Michelin star restaurant the Librije in the Netherlands. She has also published 2 books on wine and launched her own wine brand, Kuzvan. Therese, welcome.
Good morning.
I also have a pleasure to host with me Agnes Chee, who is a food critic and writer residing in Hong Kong, weekly food column publisher on Apple Daily and Hong Kong Economic Journal. She's also the author of The Vanishing Flavors of Cantonese Cuisine, food and beverage consultant, founder and managing director of the Table Tango Limited. Hi, Agnes.
Hi, hello everyone. Hi, my friends. Hi.
Shortly, we will be joined by Vladimir Mukhin, who is just running towards his restaurant to switch on his computer and to be with us in this discussion room, who is the chef for the White Rabbit restaurant in Moscow and head chef of the White Rabbit family restaurant group of 22 places. He's also featured on Netflix documentary Chef's Table Season 3, local seasonal products, modern techniques and new combinations. I also have here with me Julien, who is the co-owner of Odette, a modern French restaurant in Singapore, keen on seasonal products, respecting the integrity of each ingredient and commitment to displaying its brilliant flavors. Hey, Julien.
Hello, everyone. Hi.
With me here in this discussion room, there is also Gökmen Sözen, who is the founder of Sözen Publishing and organization serving the sector with Food in Life patisserie magazines. For 5 years, he's delivering the International Gastromassa Conference, and he is a content organizer of many more culinary events. Hi, Gökmen.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Gökmen.
And we are also joined by Tiffany, the co-founder and CEO of RSVP, a food tech platform based in Copenhagen, providing world-class booking and guest management system for daily operation as well as events. Hi, Tiffany.
Good morning.
So, to open this discussion and have more information on what's going on, I would like to ask Tiffany to tell us something basing on the scientific research, as I know, how the hospitality industry all over the world reacted and what position it was during the pandemic. So, Tiffany, it's over to you.
Perfect. Thank you very much to the Best Chef team, as well as everyone who has taken time to attend today. I just hope that you can see the presentation on your screen now. And as we mentioned, what we're speaking about today is where does our industry stand after the past 6 months and COVID-19? As we know, the toll has been great on our industry at all levels, and that is very obvious. I don't think we need to state that any more clearly. And in each region of the world, and really in each country, we have fared very drastically and differently due to a combination of consumer behavior, of government response or lack thereof, as well as cultural norms. And in my opinion, one of those detrimental factors is the constantly shifting position of governments around the world. These guidelines are coming fast and they change on a weekly basis. And I think that leaves many of us operators on the ground, unable to fully commit to a single approach and unable to have any contingency plans in place. Just as an example, over here in Europe, Denmark recently has enacted a 10 o'clock closing time for all restaurants, bars, private venue hires as well. Just previously, not long ago when the shutdown was lifted, it was until midnight that we could have guests. And thereafter it was changed to 2 o'clock, which seems like welcome news, but you couldn't have guests after 11. And this all happened within the span of a month or 2 months. In the UK, now there is a new rule of 6, and from Thursday, in fact, now all restaurants, bars, pubs need to close by 10 as well, and the government has been threatening a second lockdown. And of course, some countries and governments are responding to this in a better way than others. But why don't we dive into the numbers? So what we see here is from really the start of the global pandemic until just about a week ago. We see a sharp decline on a global scale, and this is year-on-year visit numbers for diners in seated restaurants. It drops to an absolute zero for a period of time. And then it has been slowly and vacillating in many ways, slowly coming back up to what we can say very or still well below trading levels of last year. And if we look specifically into a few examples, so these 3 numbers on the screen you see are for the UK. And very recently, what we've seen is that 900,000 more jobs in the restaurant industry are at risk in the UK unless the government provides more specific, sector-specific support. And by earlier counts, and already 2 million workers in our industry have lost their jobs in the UK. Of course, it's not all necessarily bad. With the government response, what we see is a reduction of VAT in the UK from 20% to 5%. And that provides much needed cash for our industry, especially with such slim margins. This is crucial. This will be in place until the beginning of 2021. And of course, my hope is that it will continue as long as our industry needs it. And third, 3 out of 5 diners that had been polled, in fact, said that they will continue dining out at these increased levels that we've seen in the past month and a half in the UK. So what London had implemented, the Greater London, is something called Eat Out to Help Out. So throughout all of August, the government was supporting participating restaurants where they would cover 50% of the diners' bills. And one, this helps diners regain confidence, getting back out into public spaces. And second, it's an effort to bring trade back up to previous levels. So I think there is some good to be found out of this. Now, if we look at the bottom 3 numbers, these are figures for Germany. So a recent stat from one of the leading trade organizations in Germany state that 61.6% of restaurant and hospitality businesses are still at risk of bankruptcy right now. 55.8% is the level that trade has decreased. And this is between March to August. So it's a massive drop. And finally, 64.9% of businesses are saying that despite the previous support packages, they're still at risk because it's not enough to get them through to the other side. And if we look then to the US across the pond, 1 in 6 restaurants, and I would have to stress that the US's situation is, of course, unfortunately very dire to the way that the government has responded to COVID-19. So 1 in 6 restaurants have closed, and the conservative estimate is that there are around 600,000 restaurants in the US. So 100,000 of them are either permanently closed or closed for the long term until they understand what the government's position is. And of those 600,000 restaurants, 370,000 are independent. So very much the types of restaurants that my colleagues today run or own. And of those, only 5 to 30% are expected to reopen or survive COVID-19, the ones that aren't already permanently closed. And if we look further down, 2 out of 3 restaurant employees have actually lost their jobs in the US and are struggling to pay their bills. $240 billion are expected to be lost in sales by the end of 2020. That's $250 billion just in the US alone. An interesting, somewhat different fact is that 10 times is the number or speed in which delivery and takeout has grown. In less than 6 months, we are seeing the types of rates and growth that Morgan Stanley, which commissioned a report, was only expecting in 2025. So consumer behavior has completely shifted. It's accelerated beyond any expectation. And I do think that there is an opportunity for us here. And I think the figures above obviously are not very promising, but nevertheless, I do think this is a great opportunity for us to reset as an industry. The numbers don't look good when we compare it to where we were, but my belief is that we cannot use past as the benchmark for where we need to go in the future. This presents our industry globally a really great opportunity to push out and to usher in the next decade of innovation, an opportunity for us to build new collaborations, partnerships that didn't previously exist. And looking to my personal experience, in fact, if we look back to the 2007-2008 crisis, which was also had a huge impact on our industry, what we saw come out of that is really what we are, until the past few months, have been riding on, that type of innovation. And now with COVID-19, I think this presents us the next decade. So thank you very much for listening in today. And I hope you all have a good rest of Area Talks.
Thank you very much, Tiffany, for those numbers and for this research. I think it gives us a great base for what we're gonna discuss about now. It was great to see you, guys, and I think we can start our discussion.
Thank you very much.
So let's firstly check on ourselves. How are you doing? So let's start maybe with Agnes. How it was in Hong Kong? What is the lockdown story for that part of the world?
I think in Hong Kong everything is quite stable. We are living as normal because our infection rate is very low at the moment. Only single or double, a very low double digit, and even sometimes the double digit is just talking about 10 or 20 people infected every day. We have been keeping this record for more than a month. I think so. We are more relaxed, but we are still very careful. Yeah, about the situation. So, and we have a restriction that the social distance, the restriction. In all the restaurants, we are only allowed maximum 4 people in one table. So it also keep us and keep the customers, keep the chef, everyone in a safety zone. So and the distance between the table is like 1.5 meter. So we are very comfortable with all this restriction, and we already get easy to it. And we actually has a new form to dine out together. Like I and my friends, like we want to go into a big group. We order 3 tables. Like we separate in 3 tables, 4 each. This is the way we do the gathering now. And we are moving in between and talk to each other, and then at the end, goodbye. We are still very happy with it. I think we need to be very flexible to deal with the situation instead of just complaining or just waiting or feeling negatively. So in our fine dining restaurants in Hong Kong, we do it this way. Yeah, even we have 8. I already booked a table. for next month in the chairman, our favorite restaurants. And then we don't know yet if the restriction rules is going to be relaxed then. But I already, okay, because my dinner has 8 persons, so I booked 2 tables. So we sit next to each other and talk in between the tables. That's quite fun, actually.
So it's good to hear that you are doing so well and managing those restrictions in the way that they can also suit you. So let's tackle another point in Asia, the Singapore. Julien, what's the story of the lockdown there? Was it long? What's the situation now?
Okay, so in Singapore, unlike Hong Kong, we had 3 months of closing for all restaurants. So the number of cases was on the high side for quite a few months, and all restaurants were closed. So many restaurants turned into different kind of business setup and launch online cooking class or takeaway food or to-go food. So it was kind of challenging time for all restaurants here. And since middle of June, all restaurants are reopened. The number of cases are going down, and we are now also on maybe 10, 15, 20 a day. So which is very little compared to what it was a few months ago. The measures in place are pretty much the same as in Hong Kong, with 1.5 meter distance between every single table, and maximum is 5 persons per table. We are not allowed to sell any alcohol or wine or any alcohol actually after 10:30 p.m. So at 10:30 p.m. we have to clear all the alcohol in the restaurants. So we have to switch a little bit the opening hour for many of us as well. And I mean, you guys all came in Singapore, you know how strict Singapore can be. So 10:30, everything must be closed. Otherwise, you are risking very big fine, which you don't want to play the game, obviously. So the situation now is that after 3 months of closing, all the restaurants seems to do very, very well, because no one can travel, obviously, yet. And the only activity people, enjoy at the moment is dining out. So all the restaurants and in any kind of category, from very casual to high-end, are all doing relatively well at the moment.
It's good to hear it as well. So let's check Moscow. Do we have any restrictions in Moscow now?
Yeah, hi guys, hey everyone.
Hi.
You know, we was closed from March till June, and it was closed. Everything was closed. Everyone sitting in this at the houses and apartments, and we had a lot about how the government can help us, but it's for Russian, it's just talking, and little action, unfortunately. We have 23 restaurants in the White Rabbit family, so it's a lot of, it's 3,500 people per our company, and we it was really hard work. Yeah, we try to keep people together. We try to do everything. So we organize online dinners and make a lot of collaboration with online chefs, with the chefs around the world. And we, of course, delivery was massive. Yeah, it's like a lot of the restaurants start to make delivery service. It also help us. And also we use this strange lockdown for redesign of White Rabbit. So we make the new, we try to use this period, because restaurant was without closing 8 years. And we find these solutions with a good designer and start to renovation and make it. But now it's still open, and now it's much better. We also start from 1.5 meters between the tables. Yes, you can sitting like 4 per table, not more, but now it's okay. Now everything open, nightclubs, everything open, and restaurants, the business much better than before COVID now in Russia. Unfortunately, we can't invite international guests, like because everything closed. Yes, but we find that Russian customers can come a lot. So, and this is now it's much better than before, I think.
So it's good to hear it as well. We are talking about the lack of international guests from abroad. So I would like to ask Gökmen, who is also, apart from being a journalist and food lover, a traveler, organizer of international events. Did you move anywhere during the last 6 months from Turkey? And did you had any chance to experience the abroad cuisine?
First of all, thank you for this important meeting and invited me. Greetings from Istanbul. In Turkey, all the restaurants were closed between March and June. The hotels and restaurants up and now not working with low capacity. Due to summer period, there is a high population in the Aegean and Mediterranean regions. But the hotels and restaurants in Istanbul are still not doing well. We didn't travel anywhere.
Yeah, so this is what I thought, that it would be. So like still we cannot travel, we cannot enjoy this abroad experience from all the places from all the world that they are previously had for us, but hopefully we will be there shortly. Let's move even closer to Warsaw, where I'm situated. So I would like to ask Therese, what was the situation in Netherlands? Are the restaurants now fully open, or still there are some restrictions? What's the situation there?
No, we had the same as everybody. We were closed from March till the end of May. Mm-hmm. From the beginning of May, there were some hotels, they can open, but they can serve room service in the rooms. But we didn't do it. We just opened the end of May. From that moment, we can have 40 guests in our restaurants, some 30. We can have 40 because we have a big restaurant. So I think that's really nice because we can do also the distance we must do that. We were also mouth masks in the restaurants. It's the government says it's not necessary, but we do it for the safety for our guests. What we do in the time that we were closed for the restaurant, for the Librije, we did some lessons online, same that Julien said, and we have also 2 other restaurants, but it's more brasserie, and then we did it takeaway and that kind of things. But in Holland, it was really crazy time. I think for all of you also, it was really the quiet in your restaurant and on the street, and it was really scary. And but after when we opened in the end of May, the virus was really down and really good here in Holland. But now, unfortunately, it will come back. So we have now the half part of Holland. They get more restrictions. We need to also close every cafe or restaurant closed at 12 o'clock in the evening. We have open no bars, no clubs, everything is closed. And what you also see now in our country is that when the restaurants have staff or people with the virus, then the restaurant must close for 10 or 20 days. Mm-hmm. So it's a little bit, for now, this moment is really a little bit scary still. But the restaurant, we do really good. We have it really busy, and because of the people say, okay, because of the distance, and we control all the rules, and that's good. So for our business now, it's really good, but it's still a little bit scary because the virus is coming back here.
Yeah, so we are aware that it might come back in such ways that we won't know where and when those restrictions will be brought back. But you've already mentioned something very important: what you do about what you do in the restaurant to make people more confident in that they can come in, they can dine, and they are safe there. And I would like to ask all of you, what are your experiences in your places regarding building the confidence and bringing the the customers back? Because you've mentioned the masks, you
Yeah.
all mentioned the distance. What else can be done to make people believe that they can come back to the restaurant and they are safe there?
Oh,
Yeah. No, you go.
no, you go ahead.
Okay,
It's
now,
fine.
yeah, what we do is now, what I told, we have the masks. What we also do is when we make the reservation for the guests, that we can give them a confirmation by mail, and then we have all our rules sent to them because of the hygiene for the, we do a lot of with hand washing and that kind of thing, also for the guests. And also in our kitchen, all the chefs are working with the mouth mask, and all that kind of things is really important. And when they come in, when the guests come in a restaurant, we need to, they give their name and their phone number, every person, that when there's something happened, that we can find them and call them. And all that kind of things, it's for the guests, they feel also safe. And I get a lot of compliments every day that people say, "Oh, your distance and all your staff so good, so clean." And I think that is really a good sign for the guests.
Agnes, what's your experience from Hong Kong? What is done now to make people more confident, and what could be done more regarding not being afraid?
Yeah. Because as the size and the structure of Hong Kong, this city, we have a lot of restaurants that build open in the high building and open in the building. So we have a very strict, we check the temperature for every customers, not even just when you enter the restaurants. When you enter the building, the security already check your restaurants for the first time. And then when you take the lift and go up to the restaurants, the restaurant will check for a second time. And then this is the first step. Also, you need to wear masks to step in the restaurants. Of course, they provide the sanitizer. Yeah, for these few months, actually, my hand consumed more alcohol than my mouth. And then you need to sign the declaration form as well to prove that, to declare that you are not traveled in the past 40 days. If you just come back from the travel, even you already done your quarantine, they are not encouraged you to dine in first. So you need to give all the information, you need to declare, and to make you understand you actually bear a certain level of the legal responsibility. If there's anything happen, if you are one of the patient that with no symptoms, and then you spread the virus and you make everyone infected, you have to responsible for it. So this declaration form is not only very common in our restaurants, also common in the salon, in the hair salon, in many places, in the gym as well. Every time I go to the gym, I need to sign the form every time to declare. So I think this really, all this strategy makes people feel very safe and more secure to go out and live as normal. Yeah.
Julien, you've mentioned that Singapore is quite strict on its rules. Is anything else done there, or something from this is not done? What's the situation regarding this trust of the people to go back to the?
So it's pretty much the same as in Hong Kong. So as soon as you enter a restaurant or any kind of business or shopping mall, there is a QR code that you need to scan with your phone, and you need to basically check in and give all your details. So they can keep tracking of who's coming and who's going out. And also temperature check-in at every single entrance of any business. So at the moment, when you are going in Singapore for shopping after a restaurant, your temperature is taken probably 15 times a day. And at the restaurant, so our restaurant is located in an art gallery. So every guest that's coming will be asked to take the temperature at the entrance of the art gallery, and they have to check in at the entrance of the art gallery, and then they have to do it again at the entrance of our restaurant. And we have to keep very close track on all that. And somehow if we make people feel very safe and very comfortable, and obviously the use of a mask is mandatory. Everyone is wearing a mask inside and outside. You are not supposed to remove the mask until you have something to drink or to eat on your table. And people are really cautious about it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. But it's quite actually at first it's very disturbing, but we get used to it because that's the only way we can do if we want to carry on the business. So yeah, we are used to it now.
Yeah,
But
thank you.
Can I ask you, your guests are sitting at the table also with the mask? Only when
So when they come in, everybody has a mask because
Yeah.
it's mandatory in Singapore. You can get fined if you don't wear a mask. So
Yeah.
when they're entering the restaurant, they wear the mask, they sit with the mask, they have to check in on the QR code with the mask on, and until
Okay.
they have a glass of water or something to eat, they cannot legally remove the mask. It's a
Whoa.
bit crazy.
Yeah.
So what's about Moscow, Vladimir? What's there about those precautions?
Of course, everyone use the mask. It's it's the same situation in Russia. But you know, I just left some countries in Turkey with my team, and you know, when we just arrived in Moscow airport, no one used the mask. It's super strange. When I go to the underground, no one used the mask. Just in the restaurant, you need to use it. You know, it's super funny. But it's of course. Listen, the medical system was very strong in Russia before as well. So everyone used their special antiseptic every day. So when you just get the kitchen, you need to use it every 30 minutes. After 50 minutes, you need to use it again and again. So it was before COVID. And the Russian medical system is very strong, also inside the prison. But I think it's very serious things, yes. And now it's time to, for me, now is the time of collaboration and cooperation. No one, you know, can stand this battle alone. So that's why I think we need to unite to think about our business. And but this is the time when we can start to think about the future, how we can work together and everything. Like as management, we need to think how to make our business more, you know, in this more better in this pandemic system as well. Yeah. Yes. Of course, it's very important to keep safe everyone, the customers, of course. So we also inform everyone to asking the contact started to working with the Russian customers. So we just opened the chef table. So before was closed, and we just opened the chef table. Everyone can get and see the kitchen. So with the mask, with how we're working, very clean and everything. And but it unfortunately comes stronger now. Maybe 2 days before was better. Now it's like 6,000 people per day in Moscow plus every day. Yes, it comes. Really? Yes, because you remember Russia is super big country, and when we finish COVID, I think everyone needs to get COVID for finish, or we're waiting for something. So it will be super long. I think 2 or 3 years we will playing with these things. So I don't know what happens tomorrow. Maybe everyone tell us that we will close day by day, but nobody know.
Yeah,
I hope it will work. I hope it will work. Yeah, because it's super strange. Also in COVID situation, listen, everyone go to the underground metro stations, but the restaurants was closed. It's super strange. A lot of people was there, but restaurants closed.
So it's good to have the restaurants open now and to have those restrictions to make people more confident that they can really go back to them. Agnes, I would like to ask you, what's the impact of the pandemic on the whole hospitality industry in Hong Kong, as you see it, as both the critic, the journalist, but also user of those places? What's the impact? What are the changes that you are noticing?
I think those changes is we actually have a new form of living. Like we eat at home more often than usual, because also because as the environment and the restriction rules doesn't very encourage a lot of gathering, or like the family dinner. Normally family dinner is like more than definitely more than 4%. So we will dine in at home more. And then I can say that I found there's a situation the high-end restaurant actually can still survive very well because their target audience, their customers, and they are still willing to spend, especially when they are not allowed to travel. And they actually have more time and more money to spend as what they usually, the people they usually target. And all these high-end or the high-end restaurants and the middle range, they are actually benefit from the rebound of the spending. Yeah, especially when people they don't have the freedom for a while. They want to go out more. They want to spend more, and then this is very humanity. But for the small restaurants, and they are very suffer from surviving actually because the rent is still very high in Hong Kong. And then honestly, that our government doesn't help very much on the rent negotiation to help all the industry people. So some of the restaurant owner, they really cannot stand for the rent and they prefer to close restaurants. And then yeah, so there are two extreme situation now. So we really really have no idea what happened to tomorrow. Yeah, and also we are quite worried that the rebound of the spending is very short, is not sufficient enough to support our industry in the long run. Because for long run, you still need the visitors and foreigners, outsiders. Yeah, so because the number of the local customer is there. Yeah, there's no flexibility. So after a short while, after we get all the benefits from the rebound spending, what is next? What is after next year? We cannot maybe after a few months we cannot expect. So as a lot of my friends, they are the top tier restaurants and they are Michelin star chef, 50 best restaurants. They are already thinking to open a second line restaurants, which is less high end, not the fine dining, not the fine dining. It's more casual dining, but remain with the standard they want. And as they see, this is one of the exit or also direction to deal with the future. Also, can more accommodate to the local customers.
Mm-hmm. We are talking. Thank you, Agnes, for this information. We are talking all the time, mostly about the restaurants, mostly about the dining. But I would like to tackle Therese on what's the impact of the COVID-19 on the wine industry. You have your own wine line. What do you see there? We've heard, of course, the information from all around the world about the restrictions on drinking alcohol or serving alcohol. But what's your point of view? What you've seen regarding the whole wine industry?
When I see in Holland, people drink really a lot during the the closing of the restaurants. I got a wine site. It's online. I do it with a friend, and we sell a lot of wines. So in Holland we don't have also no restriction of drinking wine. The only thing is just since yesterday, restaurants and bar must be closed at 12 o'clock in the west of the country. But here in our side of Holland, we have no restrictions. So the alcohol is still really good. They're drinking a lot of wine, so that's nice. What we have in the beginning, a lot of people were at home with a lot of people together, and so also eating and drinking. But now there's a restriction that people can be with 6 at home, no more, because there are a lot of virus coming because people are at home and have parties. So that's good for us, for the restaurants and for the bars. The only thing is that you see, because of the distance, when you don't have a restaurant with space, then it's really difficult. You have less guests. We have our brasserie in the city, and normally we do 100 guests the evening, and now we do the half. So, and that is for a lot of restaurants also here in Holland really difficult. So yeah, of course they sell less wine. And when I see, because in the world there's more restrictions of the wines, and then I notice also from the wine sellers and the wine farmers that they have a lot of wine left, and that's really really sad. Yeah,
So the situation differs and varies from place to place, as you said that
yeah.
you've sold a lot of wine and you didn't notice any drop personally.
No, we sell more. Normally, in December it's really because of all the Christmas things, and then we sell a lot of wine. And now we had the last 3 months, March, April, May. It was the same as December. We had so good sale because people really drink a lot at home. So yeah, so I think it's difficult, but our restrictions here in Holland are really difficult than I hear from Singapore or Hong Kong. So for now, for the wine it's good, but I think when the virus will go on here, I think we will get also the same restrictions for earlier closing, less alcohol. So we must wait. I hope not, but.
So fingers crossed for the best possible scenario still.
Yes.
Agnes mentioned the support or the lack of the support of the government in Hong Kong. I would like to ask Vladimir, what's your perspective of any support from the governmental side in Russia?
I tell you before that no one help us. You know, we waiting for a special help from the government. They tell us that we will help you. We're waiting for 1 month. Unfortunately, we haven't special sponsor. You know, I'm and my partner Boris Zykov, so we the partner, and we give the money to the. First of all, we give the money to our chef and the waiters and the people who work in our company. We start to do it in 1 month. After that, we have no money. You know, because in Russia, restaurants get money from the customers because it's, I think you the same. So if no customers, no money. And but we start to think about that, and we organize online dinners and find a lot of things. We get 150 dinners per pandemic, so online. And White Rabbit was online. It was super popular in Russia. So a lot of people want to go. It's like you can do the minimum 30 people per online. So like chef table, I go like here and asking the people to cooking step by step with me. So we safe delivery the food to them. And it's we get some money from that for our people. Also, we get some work, you know, because you know it's very important. When you have no job, you drink, you drink a lot, and you need to spend some time with the people. If you're alone, you drink and someone read, but it's really strange situation. So we need to keep our team together. So we start to make masterclass to each other. We start to organize special international dinners. And unite. So we invite a lot of beautiful chefs, you know, and we also like Dominique Ren, Virgilio Martinez, I don't know, Zaya, Gagan. So it was a lot of, and you know, usually when you go to the restaurant, the chef's super busy, So you have 5 minutes to get the customers, talk with them, and run on the kitchen to cooking. But here you have really chef for 2 hours. You can talk with them. It's very interesting. So so we opened these things for Russian customers. It was interesting. Yes, and of course we get some money, but government didn't help us, except now, nothing, zero.
So it's good you find your way to find this money, but yeah.
But we didn't wait.
Yeah.
Also, it's usual. Yes, we start to think about something, what we can help, how we can help our team.
Yeah, so being proactive, it seems to be.
Now we're more stronger. Of course.
So I keep the fingers crossed for the situation to stay like this. So you're being proactive is saving the day. I would like to ask also, Julien, do you have any support in Singapore from the governmental side, or simultaneously nothing for us as for the rest of the world?
Yeah, I think it's I would say it's a bit better here because we have quite a substantial support from the government. We are government building, so we had quite an important rebate on our rent, first of all. And usually landlord in Singapore has been forced to reduce the rent for all the tenants when it comes to F&B business. So most of them play the game, and the reduction was quite substantial. And the second thing that happened is that the government support all the F&B business to the high of 75% of all the Singaporean staff that you have in your team. So it's quite a substantial amount of help.
Vladimir is so envy. I can see from your face.
So, but despite, I mean, it's a very expensive city to run a restaurant because the rent are absolutely sky high. The product that are mainly imported, 90% of what is consumed in this country is imported. The wine price is also on a very high side. So to be honest, I think they will not have the choice if they want any of us to survive to help quite subsequently, because the cost of running a restaurant and any kind of restaurant, especially high-end restaurant, as you know, is really sky high here. So we had a lot of help from the government, but when we closed during those months, because from my example, we have a team of nearly 40 people at the restaurant. So we decided to launch an online platform where we also sell wine, and we do a lot of takeaway food. So like a little bit more simple kind of food that you can really enjoy home with your family, but always with the same approach of cooking and focus on produce. So this helped a lot, and we managed to keep everyone on board. So yeah.
So if we are asking the whole world, then Therese, what's in the Netherlands? Any help from the government?
Yes, they help a little, but I think we had in the beginning they say that we get 90% of all costs for employees, but that wasn't quite true. So we get, I think, 60% from them, and we have also 120 staff. So yeah, that really costs a lot of money. But you have also a lot of other costs you have because your restaurant is closed. Normally when you open, everything goes on and you don't think about it. But now when you're closed for 3 months, then you see all the bills, you think, oh my God, it's so much. We have in 3 months, we lost 800,000 euros just away. It's really awful. And we won't make it good this year, but it's okay. It's something you can't do about it. It's really heavy. And the government is trying to help us with little things, with extra costs you have. So little by little we do. But what we do in our restaurant, we are open extra. We have lunch extra, and we have on Sunday we are open. So because we are doing more, we're getting more, how do you call it, omzet, profit. But and also our staff, I must say, they were close, because we were close for 3 months, they really helped us. In the beginning, we all were cleaning and painting, and everybody wants to do something, but it was really something that feels like a real family. Because of the hard time and because you're emotional, because you must close. And then and also the extra days we work now, they are for us, and they don't complain, and so it's a hard time, but it gives also a really special feeling with our staff or with the people. You don't think about the money you lose, but I think that's special what they do. And what they do with the other restaurants, because we can do less because of the distance, we made some pop-ups in our neighborhood. We have a farmer who has a beautiful area, and then we made on Saturday and Sunday we do pop-ups for 40-50 people. We can give their really good distance, and then we serve 5-6 course menu. and people really like that. So then we can do also a little bit extra.
So,
So we hope, yeah. So we hope that this year will be
balanced somehow.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
But it's good to hear that this kind of community is being created, like this feeling of togetherness, that people are helping each other in the restaurants. Like you said, your staff was helping you, or like Vladimir said, that you were building some kind of relationship with the people you couldn't normally because of the lack of the chef's time. I would like to ask Julien, because I know that you will have to leave us a little bit early because of your urgent duties. Could you elaborate a little bit more about your idea? Because we are now talking not only about what's now, but what were the inventions of you all during the pandemic to save the day. About the Odette Home, your food delivery system, how it differed, what's new, or how it was combined with the situation that you were in.
Okay, so we launched Odette at Home as a takeaway service as soon as we learned that we had to close the restaurant because we really needed to do something to keep all those people on board. And the idea of this was really to bring to change a bit the image of takeaway food to people, because in Asia it's very widely used, and it's easy to have delivery and takeaway from many kind of restaurants. But what we realize is that most of the time it come in a packaging that is not so sexy. It come by the time you reach your home, is not really sharp and nice anymore. So we decided to really work on packaging using only like sustainable packaging and biopack kind of packaging. And we decided to don't send any kind of hot food, but we decided to send some little kits that people have to assemble and finish by themselves home, with some proper like a kind of recipe card with finishing instruction, and people has to take a picture of the dish that they make home. So that was really a big success, and we're running it from breakfast to lunch to dinner with different items. We also did some kind of collaboration with chefs around the world. That we feature a dish from a chef that is somewhere else. Since people can't travel, we can bring some cooking from chef friends from all around the world, and it seems like it was very successful. The main idea was really to not send any kind of hot food that will reach at people's place without being really hot and not look very sexy. So the idea was really to ask people to take a bit more time to unpack, to read the cooking instruction, and to finish the meal by themselves. And we were very happy with the results so far. And I think it was kind of playful, and people really have fun doing it home. So it was nice to see the people reaction. And I have to say that we never seen people cooking as much as right now. And I think if we can retain one positive thing from this pandemic and all that crap that happened, is that people cook a lot more home, and you can feel the interest of people to cooking, to produce ingredients, techniques and stuff. So now that we reopen, somehow the eyes of some people has changed, and they realize that the work we do and the way we handle produce and so on and so on. And you can see a lot of interest into people's eyes. And most of the message that people retain from this, I think it's really about quality over quantity, and probably eat less but eat better. And I think this is global, and this is something that we will all experience in the coming months and years.
Yeah.
If you made the people to take pictures of what they finished from your cuisine, it made it also Instagrammable. So I think it was also quite a way to push people towards doing something. Do you plan to keep the Odette at Home project alive?
So when we reopened the restaurant, we kept it alive until last week, actually. And I had to give back the kitchen where I was doing it. But I am planning to keep something like that on, because there is a huge interest for this. And I think that we as a chef and as a restaurateur, really have a nice card to play. And it's a face of a business that personally I was very unaware of. And I believe that we can grow as a company, as a business, with something else that's pure restaurant.
So it's very good to hear that, and congratulations on this idea, and thank you for also those words that there is some positive side of people now cherishing the moment when they eat, what they eat, how they eat, not only rushing and ordering something in an XXL packaging, but saying that there is a beauty and there is something in the way you prepare the food for them, in the fine dining, that it really, really matters. Vladimir, I would like to ask you, because you also said that you had those online cooking classes or moments when you've met at least people who had also the time to cook with you and enjoy cooking together with a chef. Do you have any suggestions regarding being so innovative and taking this incentive further on, also for the startups, people who are thinking about the cuisine, thinking about their own places or any initiatives? What's your view on that? Sadly, we cannot hear you. I don't know if you didn't mute yourself.
I can't hear either, Vladimir. Hello?
Vladimir, I think you've muted yourself. We cannot hear you. Yeah, we've lost the sound of Vladimir. Yeah, so maybe I will give some time the technical team and Vladimir to work on the sound, and by this time I will ask Gökmen about what's your view on the future of the hospitality and restaurant industry. What should change? What will change with your knowledge as being the foodie, food traveler, and journalist?
Okay. There are very few fine dining restaurants in Turkey, and it is a hard time for them. And it doesn't seem that they will get over this easily until the gastronomic tourism starts again. In Turkey, I see that the number of fine dining restaurants will increase in 5 years because the eating habits are changing. I also believe that boutique agriculture and farm restaurants will become more popular in the coming years.
Yeah, so let's hope 5 years time is quite a long perspective, but let's hope for the best and that it will be much shorter. Do we have the sound from Vladimir already? No, still no sound from Vladimir, but we'll keep on waiting and working on that issue with our technical team. Gökmen, if I still have you on the line, I would also ask about the Gastromasa. We know that you had to postpone it this year because of the pandemic. What's your plan about the Gastromasa? Will it be back and when?
Thank you.
Next year. I want to join.
Yes. Gastromasa conference is very important for me and Turkey, but we have to postpone it to next year because of the pandemic. It will be in November because in the world event agenda, Gastromasa takes place in November. But we will organize 3 Gastromasa pop-up dinners in Istanbul until the conference. We also have plans to organize an event about world hotel gastronomy in Ontario City in March. We are excited to start a brand new event for the sector.
Yeah, so I hope this will happen, and the next year we will have the Gastromasa back with us and us back on the Gastromasa. So fingers crossed. Agnes and Therese, what is your view on the future? What should change? What will change? So what are the changes that we are facing either way, and what are the things that we should think of to make ourselves more comfortable in the newer reality of fine dining? Agnes?
Yeah, actually, I have a very deep conversation about this topic with the chef Daniel Hum from 11 Madison Park, like a month ago. What is the new fine dining, and what is the future of the fine dining? We talked long about this, and we both agree that after this pandemic, we are not we are not just want to back to normal. We need to back to future. That means we need to create something new for the future. Because you find that actually the industry, it can be very vulnerable for some challenge, a challenge like this. So, and after this pandemic, I think all the industry, not only the restaurants, even the wholesale as well, they realize that the local customers is very important. So you cannot just depend on the tourists and the foreigners. So it's when the very long close down, a lockdown like this, or when the border is not open, you are absolutely depend on the local customer to make on to for your living. So the new form of fine dining, Chef Daniel Hom and I, we will agree it will be more come back to the earth, not so hard to afford for everyone. And for the local customers base, it's not only occasion restaurants. You come for birthday, you come for any celebration. So you have to make it more approachable for different level of people. And then and with a new concept, maybe, yeah, but we have no conclusion what is the new concept yet. I think we both still think about it when we come back for the discussion. But we agree that this will really change a lot of the mentality of the chef and the restaurant owner as well. We need to go back, not the normal. It's something new. Yeah.
We need to create the new normal.
Yeah, the new normal, something more approachable for every level to dine in your restaurants. And maybe a new business will be developed as well. Like Julien say, his a la Maison series is very welcome by the local customers. I think because it's the same thing is happening in Hong Kong. A lot of our high-end restaurants, they launch the a la Maison, the take-home series. And it is just not the very simple takeaway box. They have prepared the food, and then they vacuum pack it with the ingredients. When you take home, and then you can scan the QR code. Actually, there's a video pre-recorded, and then you just follow the video and you finish the cooking of your meal. And then even the chef teach you how to do the presentation, how to do the plating. So actually, it's another way of the fine dining. You're not only fine dining in your house. You're not only fine dining in the restaurant. You even can do the fine dining by yourself. And the fine dining spirit carry on in this way. It's a more casual way, but it's more intellectual, more educational way. So
we might learn even something from that. We as like the common eaters, not the chefs, we may learn how to prepare the food or how to then finish the dishes the way that they will also look nice. So hopefully for the whole humankind it will be something educational.
True.
Therese, what's your view on the things that will change or should change for the fine dining? I'm afraid we cannot hear you. Still no voice. Still no voice from you. So there might be another problem with the sound. So maybe, Julien, if you can answer the same question, what's your view on the fine dining's future? What will change, what we are facing now?
Okay, so if you ask me, I think flexibility is going to be very important in the coming years. I think that we must change somehow, surely, but we must remain a space of recomfort for the people. We must remain a place where people come and find, the beauty of food is that it puts people together. So it's a place where people can find joy, happiness, and comfort. I also believe that my personal opinion is that we will see less and less very, very long tasting menus. I have the feeling that the people tend to want maybe a little shorter menu, but with more substantial portion, to be able to appreciate the produce more and to drink with the wine they want more. So I think that there is many places that play the game of very long tasting menu, which is actually mainly bite and snacks. I personally believe that those restaurants will not be the most successful in the future. I think that people are looking for substance more, but I think what really is important is that our restaurant, our fine dining restaurant, our maison must remain a place of pleasure, a place of hospitality, because this is the DNA of our work.
So let's hope for that. Agnes, you've agreed with that.
Yeah, I so much agree, because like I've been so tiring. I mean, in my past experience, eating like 50 course in a dinner, spend 6 hours. I quite afraid this is no longer can be very a successful model for the industry. And then I think from the pandemic, and also because the new way, like the take home series that a lot of restaurants create, actually this is something positive happen, because the interaction in the family happens more. And then when the parents, they are finishing the cooking at home with buying those kits, and then also their children involved in the cooking as well. So this is something I think is something that we unexpected to happen from the pandemic. Actually, they encourage people stay home more and more, family time and parent-child time. And then a lot of friends, their children, my friends, their children, they actually learn more cooking than usual and baking. And also they have time to teach them, the parents have teach them about the ingredients. So so
Another bright side.
Shorter menu, but more intense, more enjoy the essence, and something is with better inspiration, not just eating, not just satisfying your appetite. Is something is more on the spiritual level. I think will be happen after this.
Yeah, Therese, can we hear you?
I don't.
Yeah, welcome back.
Yeah.
Johnny, help me.
I did it.
Hello, hello, welcome to the husband as well. So what's your view on the future?
He can do everything, so not only good cooking. The future. I think very important is the safety of for our guests and also for the staff. And I think that will be something that we must create something for it. We do a lot because of the distance, but the distance is difficult for us in restaurants. So yeah, I hope we find something for it, because I think this pandemic will not be the last one. You read a lot about it. It's a little bit scary, of course.
Yeah.
And you must be creative. The same thing that Julien told about the cooking online thing. We started also with it. People really like it. We have last we had 500 guests at once online.
Wow.
Yes, it was really great. We sent boxes to them with the whole menu, 3-course menu, and also 2 bottles of wine. And then Johnny and I did the lesson and the masterclass, and it was really nice. And people sent pictures after from, oh look, I can cook, and how nice this is, and it was really good. So I think that will also be the future, but still I think we must think about something that our restaurants, and I think our restaurants, the star restaurants, they have distance, they have safety, they have all their things, but also the other restaurants, which are smaller, we need them also. So we must think about something that we create something that we can give safety and healthy for everyone. I think that's important.
Teresa, you said something very important. It might not be the last pandemic that we are facing, so we have to generally prepare ourselves psychologically also for such situation. So what would be your view or tips for the people who would like or always dreamt about having their own project, culinary project? Do you see any things you can advise those startups now when we are facing this pandemic now and possible
Yeah.
pandemics in the future?
Yeah, I think for health and also the hospital, so they must be prepared for it. But I think they will do. But also for our business, yeah, also take care of everybody. And I think when the distance we must do it. When the mondkapjes are good, we must do it. I think it's more important that we make a good plan for it and be sure that we can do it, and that we're not that is not so heavy which the last time that we must close for 3 months, because when we must close again for a few months, I think a lot of restaurants and colleagues will go down.
Yeah.
And that will be really heavy for the whole world, because I think when you see when we open after 3 months, we can get guests from outside Holland, but people want to eat and people want to drink and want to have fun. They really missed it. So I think our business is really important for the future of the world, of the people, because people like that, and that's good.
Julien, from your side of the world and from your perspective, any tips and advices for the startups or people who want to set up their culinary business now in those times?
Well, as I said earlier, I think people are really now cooking more than before. I think that the passion for ingredients and the interest for our industry has never been as high as of now. So I believe that the DNA of the product and the envy must be very personal. The project must be very personal. The project must have a meaning, and it's just not opening a restaurant for the sake of opening a restaurant. You must share who you are, and you must tell your story to people somehow. So it can be through a drink or food or concept, but I think it needs to be very authentic and it needs to be very genuine. I believe that people will look for authenticity and very genuine sense of hospitality.
Thank you.
And also,
more humanity.
What Agnes told us also from the local. I think we must do a lot for the local people, but also with local foods, with local products. I think that will also be the future. Near by yourself, near at your home.
Yeah.
Because I think the travel will be more or less, so we must find it here. But every country has so much beautiful things or beautiful products, so I don't think that will be a problem.
So the outcome of our discussion might be cherish the local, think about the very personal brand that you create, remember about the safety, and keep at the back of your head that it might not be the last pandemic. So any project we create or any innovative thought that we are creating for our existing restaurant right now must be rather tested for the tougher times. So let's be prepared that we might need to be very innovative for the longer time, and there is no going back to the normal. We all need to create the new normal as for the future of the fine dining. Thank you all very much for being with me today. Sadly, Vladimir is facing some technical problems, so cannot join us back. So this way I would like to thank my distinguished guests and also invite everybody for a 5 minutes break.